why you don't bring the name Tyrone into the play. There's a reason behind it, because something happened before, okay? And let me explain this, because his name Tyrone is actually his real name. His name is Tyrone Carson. So let me put it this way. Billy Carson is literally cloned himself. This is what you call, they clone Tyrone. That's Billy Carson in a way. He have a case and he cloned himself by creating a new character. So that's why his name is Tyrone. This is Tyrone, they cloned Tyrone. So literally, he's playing a game by cloning himself to a new identity. That's why you don't see the name Tyrone is within his name. He gave you Billy Carson. The Tyrone disappeared because he reinvented himself for a new agenda. Now let me say this. I got that before. His upbringing, where Billy Carson started. Because you know, there's a lot of names. This is where everything starts. This is Dr. York. This is where Billy Carson started. This is the beginning of these so-called UFO joints, UFO people in the black community talk about UFOs, talk about the sky, whatever. That's his upbringing. Dr. York was literally where it started. But you're never going to hear him say anything because most of the people out there in the UFO community dealing with mostly white folks out here, they don't know that. They just saw Billy Carson talking. But they don't know that we know where he started. His upbringing, how everything started. It started with none other than Dr. York. That's his first jump start. As he cloned himself to be cloning Tyrone. So the clone reinvented himself, but this is his upbringing. He starts from here. Now when he's talking about the Anunnaki, this is where it gets. The Karate fiction. I just want to be clear on this. This is all propaganda. Now, I'm going to go deeper because I just want to clear the way. This is where his upbringing comes from. The Karate fiction talk about Enlil, Enki, all of it is nonsense. Let me say this. It's all nonsense. And let me go through the picture first. Then I'm going to show you what it really go down and why they do this. Why this curriculum system, because it's a system. And they're going to constantly change face and change pace within the system. Because there's an agenda against humanity. Let me say this. There's an agenda against humanity.
Billy Carson. This video is going to be about Billy Carson because a lot of people I know and a lot of people that are in my community believe he is a plant. And I saw this video and I've been doing some research, and listen, I always take facts over conspiracy any day. But if sometimes conspiracy leads to facts, we all need a little conspiracy in our life. Well, I'm about to talk to you about a video that I can't show on here, but is being uploaded to my other platform. That is the link in the bio of the TubeView, and it has a picture of the Dyson Sphere. But in this video, with Professor Zachariah Hitchin, is claiming that Billy Carson has cloned himself from a man named Tyrone. And that's where they get the premise of this movie. Also, if you look at Billy Carson's wife, everyone who's a plant has a wife like Billy Carson. But before I get into the whole conspiracy of that, just go watch the video. Then come back and tell me what you think. Remember, I am never concrete in my stance on anyone or anything. I will always be critical and listen to the evidence of new and old information. And it's wise that all of you guys be that way as well. If you support Trump or Biden, you should never just stay with someone because the herd is. You should do what you think is right because you think it's right, not because of what other people think. Fuck what they think. But always seek the truth. Always seek love and light. And go watch that video. Let me just say, it piqued my fucking interest. So much to the point, I can't post it on here. Peace to the guys.
What do you think the purpose of those boxes were? Oh, Halls of Amenti. So if you read the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, my first book, Compendium of the Emerald Tablets, I break it all the way down. Okay. He had these boxes in these underground halls that were discovered underneath the Great Pyramid, exactly where he says they were in his tablets. And in these halls, that was just one of the locations. They had them all over the earth. They would actually create their own bodies. So we fashioned our own bodies. So they would either take a stem cell and turn it into a clone of themselves. They didn't take other bodies. They said they made their own. And then they would put a body in a rejuvenation chamber, which is the box. And then they would transfer their consciousness from the body that's been used up into the newer body. And they said we would walk amongst men, but unlike a man. And so they would be here walking around, and you wouldn't even know that they'd just been transferring their mind from body to body. And each one of those boxes had bodies in them, and a body would sit there for 100 years, and they would walk amongst men in a body for 100. And Thoth says he did it 100 times 10. So if you take 100 times 10 plus the 100 years of each body sitting in the box, you're talking 100,000 years for 10.
I didn't say it. I said it, but I ain't say it. I've been said it, but I ain't.
I project myself outside of myself, and I talk to myself when I'm speaking. That's what I do.
Do I need to say it?
So here is William Carlson, MD. Harvard University graduate, extremely successful businessman. And here is William Tyrone Carlson. Carlson with a K. He is a UFO expert and apparently a grifter. Apparently, some of Billy's supporters do not believe that he changed his name, but these things are public record. Broward County, 2018, Billy changed his name from William Tyrone Carlson with a K to Billy Carson with a C. This is where you will also find his arrest record for fraud.
Get the flip-flop shit on me. Just like a hoe I knew in Detroit. I come to the door. She's a man. Flip-flop.
Since some people couldn't understand the lies that Billy Carson speaks, let me explain how he is part of the deception.
Jesus disappears from the Bible at the age of 12. There's another text called the Gospel of the Holy 12. If you have the Gospel of the Holy 12, which is also missing from the Bible, If you have the Gospel of the Holy 12, you discover that when Jesus was 12 years old, he disappears from the Bible, and he's in this text.
The Gospel of the Holy 12 presents vegetarian versions of traditional teachings and events described in the canonical New Testament. And who wrote that text is S.G. Osley. This is who they say is S.G. Osley. He was a British entrepreneur, a linguist, and a diplomat. So Billy Carson is reading S.G. Osley's teachings and his interpretation of what he thinks he knows about Christ. In that same book, it mentions Osley, whom the Gospel was written down. So this is Osley's Gospel, not Christ's Gospel.
And in the Gospel of the Holy 12, which was omitted from the Bible, he goes to Egypt with his mother. He went there to study the Egyptian mysteries, went there also to learn all about the ancient mystery schools, and then he left there and he went to Tibet, and then he went down into India, learned about reincarnation and all of that, and then he came back down and he reappears in the biblical text.
It is omitted from the Bible because it has no connection to the Bible. It's just a man's interpretation. Christ gets his anointment and understanding from God. So Christ didn't get his knowledge from Egypt, Tibet, or India, but from God. As is mentioned in Acts 10 and 38, how God anointed Jesus of Nazareth with the Holy Ghost and with the power, who went about doing good and healing all that were oppressed of the devil. For God was with him.
The ego that he will have, finding out that Jesus learned everything from India.
Yeah.
Oh, we can't tell. And how do we know that he went out there to India?
The records have been kept. It's complete records, and even the Dalai Lama confirmed that he was in Tibet at one time.
These records Billy Carson is talking about are false interpretations of a man that they never witnessed, with false understanding of stolen biblical manuscripts that have no dates. Dalai Lama did not witness Christ. This is just his private interpretation. You must first understand that the Bible was looted from Ethiopia by the British Empire and gave false doctrine to the world to make it okay to have different interpretations. This is why Christ comes in the last days to speak the truth. Because no man knoweth the Son but the Father. Neither knoweth any man the Father save the Son, and he to whosoever the Son will reveal him. So Christ has to be revealed to you for you to know the Father, not taught by man's fables. This is another reason why the Bible is meant to be fulfilled, not interpret.